So like I said, I would cover the controversy of Abby in its own section, as I think a big issue with the game was the character as a whole. And look, a major part of that was the leaks. They really didn't help portray her in the best light. But I also think Naughty Dog didn't really do the best job at making her anything more than the antagonist. You see, the game tries to portray Abby as being just the same as Ellie. Both are out for revenge after losing their father, but because of how Abby is introduced to the story, the player has no choice but to hate her and not have any sympathy for her whatsoever. Even the way she looks, give her a handlebar moustache and she's basically Triple H. Everything you see of Abby makes you see her as the antagonist, so by the time the game decides you now have to play as Abby and buy into her side of the story and feel sorry for her, you just spend most of the time thinking,
Is he still in the fucking building? Abby.
No!
Abby, don't look.
Don't care. Don't care.
I think in hindsight Abby could have been handled a whole lot better. I had this idea of, rather than the game starting with Joel being the nice father figure for Ellie, that we see it starts off with the player controlling a young Abby, similar to how we play as Sarah in the first game, completely defenceless as you escape the hospital, watching someone completely massacre your friends and family as you try to get away, and near the end you find out it's Joel, but not as we saw him in the first game. This time around, in Abby's memory, he's this evil monster type character who's just taken everyone she loves away. At least that way the player has some sort of sympathy for Abby, rather than just hating her from the start. I feel like the show might do a better job of portraying Abby, just based on the casting option. Her and Ellie seem like an even match, and way more similar than their game's counterparts. The character of Abby was doomed before the game even released, thanks to the leaks, but I think even without the leaks, Abby was never going to be a fan favourite. You can't just portray someone as this evil antagonist, then try and make the player feel sorry for her halfway through the game. Maybe if we knew her tragic backstory first, the player would be more open to the idea of playing the events of the game from her side, and would feel more conflicted in the last chapter, when Ellie makes her heel turn, and becomes the bad guy in the scenario, but instead we still see Abby as the antagonist, and are on Ellie's side the whole time. At least I was anyway when I first played it. And it's sad because you can tell this isn't how Naughty Dog wanted the story of the game to go.